Hello everybody and welcome to Dinosaur Trash. I am your host today, Ben. Joining me as always,
Dan,
James,
and Christian.
And today it is apparently Star Wars Day because it is May the 4th. In celebration of this franchise, some would say maybe it's dead. Some would say maybe it should die. I am not saying that.
I am.
We were taking a look at a film I don't think anybody's watched. I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure this is a good idea. It's just a film I've been pushing for us to watch since we talked about doing the channel. We're talking about a film called Fanboys. I remember enjoying it. I've seen it a couple times. Has anybody else seen or heard of this film?
Nope.
No.
Baby.
A bit of context, yeah, this is set in 1999 before the Phantom Menace has come out, and they're going to break into Skywalker Ranch to see it early for reasons you guys will find out. Maybe there's some other reasons going on. I think it's quite underrated. I don't quite know why it's not well known. I think there was a rights issue at the time with licensing and stuff. So I'd be curious to see what you guys make of it, and I'd be curious to see what everybody else makes of it as well. And please, if you wouldn't mind, give us a like, give us a little subscribe if you enjoy the video. Hopefully you now know about this film and go and give it a watch yourself. Give us a little thumbs up, engage. We're nice guys. Check out some of the other videos, Shall we crack on?
Why not?
Okay, everybody, so we've watched the film. We've just come back. Now we're going to have a little chat, see what we thought. Anyone got any dying things to say? What did we think? I thought it was decent. I kind of had a pleasant time with it.
Yeah, it's alright, it's a bit of fun, a bit of well, I was going to say harmless fun. Not all of the humour has aged particularly well, has it?
No.
It was 1999.
Yeah, well, this is what I mean.
It was 2009.
Well, it's not a huge difference. This film had quite a bit of a troubled time. It was originally meant to come out in 2007, and it had various reshoots along the way.
You can tell.
Because various producers of the film wanted the cancer subplot to just be removed entirely.
And it pretty much was.
To be replaced with just kind of broad audience dick jokes, probably. Just there's various little scenes that have been cut from the film. Apparently there's a scene where Linus throws the pills away, I think, because he kind of embraces his fate and stuff, little things like that.
Yeah, that's what I thought that moment at the campfire at the end was alluding to, the fact that he'd just not been taking his pills.
Because that's how bad Phantom Menace was. He was like, I'm just going to off myself now. Which, as I'm sure Dan can relate to. Do you remember this excitement, Dan?
I don't want to talk about it. I feel like you guys like this film, generally speaking. I've got to say, I didn't like this film.
Yeah, I got that sense.
We could tell.
Usually I'm quite animated during the screenings that we have. This time around, I was just kind of bored, to be honest. I was waiting for this film to end most of the time. It had that outdated American Pie type humour, and it was made at the very, very, very tail end of that sort of comedy coming out, and stuff like The Hangover was coming out, and you could tell that there was confusion about which kind of humour to go for. It had a few laughs here and there. There were a few moments that I thought were quite funny, personally, but most of it was just that kind of puerile, outdated American Pie type frat humour. But yeah, it just wasn't really the jokes weren't really landing for me. I know you guys enjoyed them. Maybe I'm just in a bad mood.
I don't think you're wrong that it's there is a lot of the humour that is a bit puerile and it's very American Pie points. But for me, part of the reason I enjoyed this film was because it felt like it was made for me. This film is just an ode to nerds.
There's a genuine sense of warmth at times, and it is about these friends, and they're trying to do this fun thing, and there's the fun cameos along the way.
Yeah, you've seen the film, and even you got shocked by one of the appearances. Ben, you've seen this film before.
Yeah, exactly. I had since started watching Last Man on Earth,
Yeah, but
fallen in love with Will Forte, and I didn't know he was in this.
That isn't a film, though. It's just a bunch of scenes of people that we know and recognise that don't actually serve any purpose other than, it's Carrie Fisher. Oh, look, it's Billy D. Williams. Oh, it's Seth Rogen playing 3 characters for some reason. I'm hoping we won't notice, or maybe we're meant to notice.
To notice.
This feels like a Seth Rogen movie. It is one of those ridiculous, we're just going to put a lot have over-the-top jokes. We're going to have a bit of the film where someone gets overly stoned, and because that's hilarious. We're going to have these like wacky adventures that no one would ever have.
They clearly went, look, nerds love this shit. Let's just throw a bunch of it in. Sure, we'll have one guy scream, snick, snick, come on, bub, because, you know, Wolverine. Like, who cares? That's as far as it has to go. It ain't that deep.
It's definitely a film where like people like the producers gone, this is too niche. This Star Wars is dead. This was 2007. Star Wars isn't coming back. We can't do a film about nerds. No one's going to watch it. We need to American Pie it up.
How mental is it to watch someone say, oh, these nerds are dying out. They're not buying stuff anymore.
Yeah. If he holds off about 10, 15 more years, if he gets to 2007, 2008, he'll be fine.
This film came out in 2009, and it's like just as the MCU has started.
It's on the cusp. Just, I do feel this film, it is a bit before its time, I'd say. Imagine if they made it now, going, yeah, we're going to make a film set in 99, and the way kind of comedy's evolved, and a bit, you know, the kind of filmmakers a bit more trusted maybe now.
Yeah.
I don't really like Star Wars anymore. I was forced to wear this t-shirt. Skywalker Ranch having a blast door was pretty good.
Do we think that that's accurate?
I choose to believe that George Lucas is actually mental enough just to...
If anyone is, it's George.
Yeah. I love the idea that they have to wear THX 1138 outfits, and there's a blast door, and then the alarm going off is the Death Star alarm. The trash room, the trash compactor is the same design. I think that's quite funny.
I like that stuff, man.
Speaking of George Lucas, there's a little bit of trivia here. George himself was given an advanced screening of the film. He enjoyed it and gave it his stamp of approval, and he even offered to give them the original Star Wars sound effects to use it for the film. Kevin Smith was also given an advanced copy of the film, and then he asked to have a cameo, and that's why he's in it. It's another one of the reshoots. That's why there's only like one cast member, I think, in their scene.
I love the Star Trek Star Wars rivalry. Like, it's dumb and it makes no sense, and it's great.
I enjoyed it.
That was good stuff.
My least favourite stuff is that there was a lot of scenes of them just saying the film dialogue changed into a different context. I kind of enjoyed it more when they changed it up a bit. I felt the conversation when Hutch is doing his Palpatine impression felt very natural to me. A bunch of friends having a laugh, and he does his like riff on Palpatine, go time out, you know. I enjoyed kind of that stuff. But them just saying, oh, I've got a bad feeling about this.
See, I like stuff like that. It's like winks and nods, because it's like,
but
we know where it's coming from.
It was a bit too much for me.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Like, there's a lot
It's
of
just a
it.
bit obvious. It's like when we watched them all.
I don't think they're trying to fly it under the radar, Dan. They are trying to smack you in the face with it. That's
No,
kind of
but
the point.
it's like the kind of reference I like is like the one we saw the other day in Mortal Kombat, where the guy's like just doing that sweeping the leg thing, because it's kind of subtle and it sort of looks dumb and doesn't really make sense when you're watching it. Like, why did he keep doing the same move? You know, it's being a little bit more clever with it and everything. Whereas like just making the password to I don't know, the
Scruffy Nerf Herder.
Yeah, like Scruffy Nerf Herder. It's like yawn.
There are moments in this film that me and my dad have kept saying. Nobody calls Han Solo a bitch is stuck in my head.
Good one.
Rush is variety is one that I really enjoy. And you gotta love the back tattoo of Jar Jar and Anakin like going like that. Like, that guy's gonna be the shit. I enjoyed that stuff.
The few parts that I did that like were Jar Jar related, like George Lucas has a Jar Jar screensaver.
He's doing the same pose. He's doing the exact same pose.
Yeah.
I did like all of the little jokes that were like, oh, this movie's gonna be great. It can't possibly be bad. Oh, Jar Jar's gonna be the best. And then you had, of course, like the Ray Park show up and say, you're about to get mauled. I did like all the hints at Phantom Menace and the like being able to laugh after the fact, because it's all these people being like dead excited for this film that we now know isn't a good film.
It's like we were saying, these little sort of nudges and winks and that. I really like how often the Star Wars cast appear in stuff like this. Like, we get Billy D. Williams and Carrie Fisher rocking up in that. It kind of shows that they like Star Wars, they like being part of the culture, and I always think it's just nice that these people don't just go, it's just a role, I don't care.
Whereas Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill.
I was gonna say
Mark Hamill, I think I
am surprised Mark Hamill didn't show
I think
up.
it's got to be either they couldn't afford him, or scheduling conflict. I was waiting
Yeah.
for him to show up because it's absolutely the thing that he'd be in.
The best cameo though, it's William Shatner. That was the best one.
I don't know, Machete.
Oh well. I like the idea that they stood with Shatner for about a good 10 minutes asking him what he could get. Like anything. I enjoyed that Shatner popped up looking a bit clueless, like he didn't quite know why he was there.
That's how Shatner always looks.
Yeah.
I didn't find the characters particularly likable either. I don't know if you guys would disagree with me.
Did you not like Butler?
Nah,
But
not
he- but
really.
you are
I
Butler,
mean,
Dan.
You are Butler.
Butler. Which one? Who was that?
The
again?
one who had to be
Guy-
convinced to have fun with everyone.
Yeah, with the car dealership.
The adult, you mean? I didn't like him because he had the personality of Wallpaper Paste, but like all the other guys were sort of just very two-dimensional. You know, you had the extreme nerd who didn't understand women. You had the guy who was trying to be like, he basically trying to rip off Jack Black, I think, a
There
little
was
bit.
so many times I was like, dude, we get it. You like Jack Black.
Yeah, exactly. I almost feel like Jack Black would have been the first choice of this role, and he was probably off somewhere having an actual career.
I do think that at the end of the day, what could have been like quite intelligent ended up just being sort of a surface level comedy where it was like, people will find this funny whether they're nerds or not, because we put in sort of surface level nerd humor
See,
as well.
I get that it is trying to be a comedy, but that's not why I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy this film for like, oh, it's really funny, go watch that. It's just a fun little film for nerds, and that's why I liked it, because I am a nerd.
I did enjoy their dynamic, and I enjoyed that there is a sense of fun about it, and their camaraderie, and I enjoyed the kind of the warmth about it.
It could have done something quite sort of emotional, this whole kind of idea of like Star Wars bringing these guys together. They're all leading different lives and in different situations. One of them is literally dying, and they're coming together over like their fandom of Star Wars, and it could have been like funny, and it could have been thoughtful, and do it properly, make it 25 minutes longer, actually write a script, actually have some courage and make a film, rather than just what this was, which was like, oh, let's make an American
But it's
Pie
easy to
ripoff.
say that it's easy to say just make a film.
Yeah,
when
but-
the guy's dealing with Harvey Weinstein,
Oh,
telling him
God.
to remove his cancer subplot, and he's fighting against it with the fan movement.
Fair enough.
Another director came in to do the reshoots, and then he slated the fans, trying to get the original intention back. What did he say? Yeah, he called a lot of the fans losers and called them dumb, and threatened to hunt people down. So that's what you're dealing with, Dan. It's not just
Sorry,
it's not as simple as just go out and make a film.
It should be though, shouldn't it?
It
Because,
should be.
like,
But you
what's
live in a false world, my friend. I can't wait in 10 years' time when they're going to bring the cast back together and do a sequel, where they go on another road trip to get The Force Awakens. They break into Disney. And you can have all the Disney people show up.
But this is the thing. I think if they made this film now with better humour, it would do really well, because
think it would.
nerd culture's
Yeah.
such a thing now. I think this would do really well now.
If you made it now, I still think doing it in '99 for Phantom Menace is a good. I think this is a good premise, a good idea.
I think it is a good premise. I do genuinely
Yeah.
think it is a good premise, yeah.
If they made this now and they had sort of Disney's blessing to use the Star Wars assets, and they had
There's your problem.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's where
that's
the
the big
issues
problem.
There's that great bit in the film where they talk about the shrine to Khan and Kirk, and even Seth Rogen says, we couldn't get the licenses, so we make do. And I think that's definitely a reference to the fact that they're not in the actual Star Trek uniforms, and it doesn't look like Khan, doesn't look like Ricardo Montalban. Yeah, I enjoyed that little hanging a lantern kind of deal.
They probably could do it without the licenses and just make that part of the joke, the fact that they are in like knockoff stormtrooper outfits and they're not allowed to directly call it Star Wars.
Yeah, the wars, something like that.
They still get their cameras seized and footage deleted by Disney though.
Mickey Mouse stomping it to death.
Quite peculiar that Jay Baruchel's a paedophile. That was a strange plot line. That was a weird joke.
Again, it was another thing that just didn't get brought back. It just went, oh yeah, he's been chatting to a girl online. One guy tried to fight him a little bit, and then we moved on and never mentioned it again.
Yeah, that was a peculiar
Yeah.
moment.
And why was there a scene set in like a biker bar? Was it gay bikers?
They
The
were
joke
gay
was that they
bikers,
were
yeah.
all gay. There was tons of like stuff like this in the film. Kristen Bell, she was like, "That's so gay." Like, and I'm thinking, come on now, like you're a room full of adults.
There was some good. Like I enjoyed the consistent countdown ticking in the opening crawl and sent from iPhone.
Sent from
That is
my
a
iPhone.
great start to the film.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, the very first shot of the film where it's like not a long time ago in a galaxy not very far away, I was like, oh, is
Yeah,
this what this film's gonna be like? I'm not so sure.
I thought it ended on a decent button.
Yeah.
To be like, what if the film sucks? Because that's
Yeah,
kind
that's
of what we're all thinking throughout the whole film.
I
and it
wish
just
they'd led more
cut to
into
credits.
What was the point in Kristen Bell's character?
She's just the love interest.
She got them out of jail.
Look, like we said, it's not the cleverest film. She's the woman. That's what she's there to be. She's there to be like, not all nerds are guys. And so we can put her in Slave Leia at the end.
Yeah, that was a bit. Yeah. Okay, guys, it's come to that point in the video that we all love. We're finally going to determine, is this film timeless or is it trash? I'm going to start with Christian. What do you think?
Like I've said, I did find bits of this funny and I did have fun with this film. However, it's a very dated film and it has a lot of questionable moments in it. And for that, I don't think I can give this film a timeless. I think I'm going to call it trash.
Okay, interesting. James, what about you?
Like, almost on the opposite of what Christian said. It's fun. It's a film for nerds. I'm a nerd. I enjoyed it enough to have fun with it. Yeah, its humour's not great and it's a bit outdated, but I don't think this film's bad enough to call it trash, so I'm going to call it timeless.
And Dan, what about you?
You can probably guess what I'm going to go for. I think like buried somewhere in this film is a good film. Like it's a good premise and I do like the idea, but in the form that it's taken currently, it's proper trash. Unfortunately.
I kind of agree with everything everybody said, but I was going to say the same point as James. I don't think it's bad enough to be trash. I think it's fine, but there are glimmers of little moments that have just stuck with me since I've watched it over a decade ago, and so I will call this timeless.
See, like now this is where the format of timeless or trash actually kind of comes in useful, because Ben is on a nostalgia wave and we've failed to convince him that this film is not just his nostalgia.
I think I totally agree with everything you said, and I had the same thoughts while watching it.
Yeah.
But nobody calls Han Solo a bitch. There we have it, guys. We have our second undecided, tied up. It's the left side versus the right in this video.
Oh no, not again.
I've had enough of this light-hearted adventure. I think we need to kind of horror it up a little bit, go even further back to the nostalgia train. I think it's time we chop one of our legs off. Clip!
Now that is one I'm looking forward to.
I'm so looking forward to it.
And if you enjoyed this video, guys, please give us a like, give us a little comment, subscribe if you want, check out some of the other videos. Have you heard of this film? I'm not sure anybody other than myself or my dad has heard of this film.
Of all the films we could have picked for Star Wars Day, we picked one that isn't even a Star Wars film.
Yeah. Because I don't want to watch anything really Star Wars related for a good 10 years now, really. But thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week. So long.